Hey, fifth grade. Today for our weekly word study lesson, we're going to be working on our day 2 activities. So we're going to pick up where we left off on day 1. So on day 1, you selected and checked the spelling. If you used the list that I attached to Monday's assignment, you selected and checked 5 words, and then you added those to your personal spelling list, which is the first page in your word work folder. You also added those words to the copy column of your weekly word study page in your folder. So you went to the next blank one in your word work folder and you wrote them in the copy column. That page that I'm talking about looks like this. So you added them here, and that's where we're ready to start today. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of here and go back to this, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of independent word study. But before I do, I want you to know that those steps are here on the assignment. So you're welcome to open those up and print them off if you want, or they're also located in your folder. So you can use that movable bookmark that I gave you and put it on this page in your folder and flip back and forth, or you can just listen to this video twice because I walk you through those steps. You can just listen to it twice and do it as you're writing on your paper. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You're writing on this paper. It's something that has to be done on paper. So either in your folder or you needed to print it off and then complete this process on the printed copy. All right, step 1 says read the first word, look at it, and say it. Do that now. So you're just looking at your word and you're saying it. Step 2 says spell the word to yourself. Touch each letter with your pencil and say the letter softly aloud to yourself. Identify the tricky parts of the word and circle it. So you're touching each letter with your pencil. You're saying each letter that as you touch it, and then you're going to circle the tricky part of the word. I'm going to show you what I did. I'm sure it's probably flipped for you, but you can see that I circled the tricky part of the word. That's the reason that this word is hard for me, and it's the reason that I'm using this process to visually memorize it. All right. Step 3 says close your eyes, see the word in your mind, say each of the individual letters softly aloud to yourself. So you're going to close your eyes, you're going to see that word, and you're going to say each letter that you see. Do that now. When you open your eyes, look at your paper and see if the word you saw and the letters that you said are the same one that's on the paper. If they're different, then you need to repeat the process. And so you can just do that by pausing this video and then coming back. Step 4 says, now put your muscle memory to work. Carefully and slowly print the word in the next 3 columns and say each of the individual letters to yourself as you write it. When you come to the tricky part of the word, say those letters louder and write them darker. Now, I'm not going to walk you through this part. I am going to show you what I did so you can see what I mean. So you're going to say each letter as you write it. If it's not a tricky part of the word, you're just going to say it normally. And if it is the tricky part of the word, you're going to say it louder. But while you're saying it, you're also going over that letter multiple times to make it darker. So I'll give you one example. If my word were government, I would write it and say it this way. G-O-V-E-R. And I would be running my pencil over the R to make it darker. N, making it darker. M, and making it darker. E-N-T. And I would repeat that process 3 times. And I'm going to ask you to pause this video in just a minute and do that 3 times. But before you pause it, I want you to see what I'm talking about. I know it's flipped, but you can still see the letters that were tricky for me and how I made them darker on my page and how that looks. So go ahead and pause that video now and do it 3 times. All right, we're back and we're ready for step 5. This is usually everybody's favorite step. Take a break for 4 or 5 minutes and give your long-term memory time to process the look of the word, its letters, and their order. Leave behind your spelling and do something else for those minutes. Read, do other homework, watch TV, listen to the radio. So pause the video. All right, now we're ready to do step 6. It says come back, cover the correct spelling with your hand, and print the word in the spell column. So go ahead and do that. Cover up what you've been working on so you can't see any of it, and then write the word in the spell column. Next, you're ready to proofread. Check the word you just wrote letter for letter against the original, back and forth using the tip of your pencil. Go ahead and do that now. All right, if you spelled the word correctly, put a star in this final column. The spell again or column, put a star if you got it correctly, if you got it correct. If you got it incorrect, you're going to put a check mark, and you're going to repeat these steps with that same word in the spell again row. It's the gray row. If you have a star in that final column, you're going to move on to your second word, and you're going to repeat that process. If you got a check mark, you're going to repeat that process with the same word again in that spell again row. So I'm not going to walk you through your second word. You can just watch that part of this video so that you can hear me saying to do those steps with your second word on your page. I am going to show you very quickly what you do when you've finished doing the word study process for 2 of this week's words. I'm sorry, 2 of this week's words. So you're not doing the whole page, you're only doing 2 today. Up here, where it says your name, you're going to click on that. And then that takes you to a blank Google Doc. We're going to go up here and push this insert image button. It looks like a picture. And then we're going to say camera. Then we're going to hold our word study page in front of the camera. You're going to make sure I can see that you completed 2 of your words. You're going to click the camera button, and then you're going to click insert. Then all you have to do after that is click this turn in button, and it takes you back to this screen, and it probably will ask you, are you sure you want to attach this? And you just say yes and click turn in. And then you're all done. I hope you're well. Please reach out if you have any questions or you need any help from me. Love and miss you guys.